everyone, my name's Hao. I will sing Candide's Lament from Candide by Bernstein.
Our American composers are so happy today. How nice.
Cold love, could a young Joyce just begun, note outlast the dying sun, when such brightness dies so soon, can the heart find strength to bear it? Shall I ever be consoled, love? No, I swear it by the light of this lover's moon. Though I must see tomorrow's dawn, my heart is gone when you are gone. I swear it by the light of this lover's moon. Goodbye, my love, goodbye. Goodbye, my love, goodbye.
That chair. Thank you. Thank you. I just love live. I just love it when somebody's willing to go there and bare their soul and take a risk. Thank you. It's very brave. And it's clear that you feel this very deeply and that you connect to the music, you connect to the story. Yeah? Yeah. Thank you. Singing in front of people and dealing with what we deal with. I I want to go back to what we were doing a little bit this morning, because I think that was really helpful for you. And actually, I kind of want to do it this way. You all are at a slight disadvantage because you don't completely know what we were doing, but rather than explain it to you all, you'll get it, but I just like to continue for your sake. This is the real difficult thing about opera, especially the tragic and the dramatic, is how we convey it and convey the emotion, but reserving all the technical prowess that we need to accomplish the conveying of emotions. But if we start to feel it, we might be able to pull it off, but we might also get in just a little too far. And our job as performers is to know our instrument, which is also the heart and the brain, as well as the voice, so well that we know how to manage it. We know when we're at that tipping point, and we know how to then corral the forces, the technical forces, and still deliver the emotion. I've talked about this in the past, but I think I use it like a cold tap, hot tap thing, where the cold tap is just technique. Cold, no emotion, no musicality, nothing interesting. And the hot tap is the emotion. Aha, right? And you kind of live for that. Would you tell them how you came here, just that your path in a nutshell to
I've done
opera?
Mostly musical theater so far. I did my debut in opera last May in Opera Hong Kong as Tybalt in Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a new journey.
Yeah.
But I've been still working that for a few years already.
Yeah, but it's a long study. I mean, coming from musical theater, I'm so glad that you're bringing that experience here, because it is something that singers, I think, we should be thinking about today, is how marketable are we? How flexible are we? We have opera theaters now that are doing The King and I and The Sound of Music and Camelot. And do we have that flexibility? You're coming at it from the other way, and what I love is that you're bringing this authenticity and the drama to it, and now coming to the technical side of things. And I love that mix. I feel like we need to go and just do some technical stuff so that then you're not managing the theater side of it, that you can let that theatrical side come out knowing that the voice is doing everything you want it to do. Sure. Then ultimately, I think you'll have more choices, more dramatic choices, which is cool. The one thing I want to just put in your head as you're thinking about this piece in particular, it's a good example, singers, that if you're going to make a dramatic choice in an audition situation, make it and do it. And don't do it halfway. You know, if you're crying, you were up here and you were showing it. You weren't like in this netherworld of not committing one way or the other. So this is a good example. I remember Siebel's aria. Faites-lui mes aveux, peut-être. You'll be singing that, Sophie, okay? And there's this whole recit about I'm picking up the flowers, and oh no, the flowers are wilting in my hand. And it's always this thing of like, well, we all know they're there, so but they're wilting. You know? But you know, I mean, like I've said this before, if you see it and commit to it, it was like, oh my gosh. Well, you know what happened, right? So if you're going to make a choice, make it. So thank you for making that. Would you have a straddle? Yeah. Yeah. And do you want to take your coat off?
I can.
No, it looks really good, but... Fantastic. It's a great color. Say Cunegonde.
Cunegonde.
Yeah. Cunegonde.
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 Go.
Cunegonde.
Yeah. And a little bit more elasticity instead of Cunegonde. You didn't sing like that. I can't. I was trying to adjust that. No, I can't do that. I don't want any release of the breath. Instead of Cunegonde, that's not connected. Cunegonde. This. Yeah, it's okay. I'm just gonna.
When I wonder, is it true?
Good. We're gonna do the same thing we did with Sophia. And where that's the launching pad, it's not the top note. It's not magic how we got there. It's not magic. It's just lets you break up the way you've been always doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Again. And Cunegonda and
is it true?
Awesome. You feeling that?
It feels that I don't feel it.
Yeah. That's the high note is down here.
Is it true? Is it true?
No, is it? Is it? Is it? Is it? Is it? Yeah, that's okay. Is it you? And
is it your soul?
I didn't feel that as connected. Because you don't have to go to the high note on that one. So you can, is it you? No.
Is it your soul still and cold love? Could I long? Could I?
And
Could I long, Joyce, just begun?
okay. Just begun me, just begun me, just begun.
Just begun me, just begun me, just begun me,
And
just begun. Now don't lost.
same thing.
Now, what's now?
Let me get you the music because this is hard to do it out of.
No.
This is very hard to do. I'm not sure where we were. Could you, Joyce? It began now outlast. No. Okay, but I feel like you're going to the top. Remember, the high note is on the bottom.
No.
And
No, don't lost the dying sun. When such brightness.
try it again. And
When such brightness.
yeah. Do you hear the legato in that? When such
brightness.
It happens with all the consonants. When such. It's all in there.
When such brightness dies so soon.
Die so soon, so soon. Let it go, let it go. When such.
When such brightness dies so soon, can the heart find strength to bear it? Shall I ever be consoled, love? No, I swear. No, I swear it by the light of this lover's moon.
Okay, how's this feeling?
It's tricky.
In what way?
Because it's very sensitive feeling. It's a very fragile, I would say, feeling. So I need to be used to this one to always be there for these intervals.
Yeah, it may not always be there. That's the truth. And the thing is, I love that you said that. I love that you said that. Because the other way, the sensation is that you're making it happen to be sure that it's there, right? And with that comes a kind of defiance and I'm gonna get that note, right? I understand that. The horribly difficult thing about what we do is we have to let go. And in that letting go, with the risk that it might not happen, our chances improve vastly that it's going to be there and be on the breath, but only by letting go. I mean, you're a very cerebral guy as well. You like to know it and you like to, yeah. You can see.
Not at all.
Not at all. I don't know what you're talking about, darling, now. And so that's why I'm also trying to get you to swoosh it up. Because then the breath is starting to unlock a little bit. The voice is starting to unlock.
Be more organic.
Yeah, more organic, absolutely. Which is funny because as a music theater person, we in opera think that sometimes we're stiff and whatever, and the music theater people are, and then you come to opera, it's like, oh, okay. No, bring that other thing in here. Of course it has to be correct, of course it has to be precise and stylistic and all of that, but not at the sake of putting yourself in a straitjacket. That's not what we want, So I want to do this one more time. Now, hold back, kind of like you're going to ride a motorcycle. So scooch back a little bit on the thing. I can't really demonstrate. And I want you to lean into your back here. Like, not lean back so much. This kind of, like slump over a little. Yes. In a way that's going to get you into your low back here, okay? And this is, and to go here, feel this.
Should be a little slightly curved.
A little bit like, this a little bit. Just to kind of feel that engagement, okay? We're gonna slide each phrase and then you're gonna sing it one by one, okay? And. But sing the whole, slur the whole phrase. So. But use this. Slur. Slur. So we're gonna go really. Sorry, I'm not being very clear. Sort of one by one. Slur and then sing.
Okay.
Slur and then sing. Okay. And. Remember the high note is on the bottom. And. Sing. Slur. Sing. Slur. Sing. Is it your song? Sing. Sing and cause love. Slur. Don't sing it. Just begun.
So I shouldn't let out so much air when I do just.
You can play with that later once we've got ground zero, okay? But just begun. and George on the piano. This is like amazing. You're right where we are. No, slur it one more time. And
Out lost the dying sun.
okay. Do you feel how we're trying to get this kind of foundation, connection between the notes? So you're always getting this. Let's stand up. Let's try and see if we can put this into practical use. The high note is on the bottom. Let's sing it, but only think about that sensation of slurring between all the notes. That's all. Don't think about words or emotion or anything. Okay? One more time.
Is it true?
Good.
Is it you so still and cold love? Could a young Joyce just begun? Knows out lost the dying sun.
Good.
When such brightness dies so soon, can the heart find
Better.
strength to bear it? Should I ever be consoled, love?
Can we slur that line? Okay? Really slur it and yeah. Better. The last three notes you slurred. I didn't believe you did the first ones. Try one more time. And yes. Yeah, that's legato. And that's where we're getting this kind of one big stretch. That's coming. This is actually, you think Candide, it's actually really hard. It's actually really hard. So you're good on you for bringing this in. Because that actually, those octave leaps, those are some of the most, I think, technically challenging things to actually do. And to make sure they're connected and not intervallic. You know, that we're not, I would, if I'm you, I would play with this idea of kind of sliding and even not really in full voice. Because it's starting to now take on more legato, which is going to be a much better friend for you in this. Also, because if it's legato, that idea of the heart being poured out to her, you know, not at last the dying sun. Oh, cunegonde. It's always this legato attached reach to her. And you're going to reach to infinity because she's gone. So let the voice go to infinity with this. Yeah? It's that I'm showing you so many things to think about. But it's great. The last thing I want you to ponder and to think about overnight, this comes from a stage director, Leonard Folia, who is directing Notes from the Field with Anna Devere Smith. Down thing. You must see it. Every American needs to see this. It's extraordinary what she does. It's extraordinary. Talks about the school to prison pipeline, but I digress. But don't miss it. It's in previews now. We were doing Dead Man Walking, and I was playing the role that was really one of the most tragic, horrible, difficult roles that I've ever done. And I was suffering in it because the character, Sister Helen, was suffering, and I was showing that suffering. And orchestra staging, I think it was. We were getting close to opening, so my nerves were getting more. And so, of course, I was doing more on stage because I thought, now it's getting serious. I'm going to do more. He pulled me aside and he said, Joyce, I understand what you're doing and what you want to show. And it's true what you're doing. But I'm pretty smart as an audience member. I want the choice to be able to decide what you're feeling. And if you show me everything, you're taking me out of the equation. The music is suffering here at the beginning. Would you play, George, just after he's done Cunegonda twice? It's the scream. It's that picture, right? You don't have to do a lot. I am glad you make that choice and you make it committed. But play with what it feels like when you don't do that, and you feel it, and you hold it. And the real tragedy is that you can't let go yet.
It's burning.
Yeah. That's just for you to play with. I mean,
Sure.
you know your way around the stage, but I bet you would have some fun doing that. And I bet then you'd probably set yourself up in a slightly better place technically, I think, to go on. But you might start to feel it actually more deeply. Because when it comes internally, it's
From the music.
oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially Bernstein. He's like, passion.
harmonies.
Right. And so if I'm you, I would play with what it feels like if you go even further with the crying, on your own maybe, and then nothing but feel it. And then every time you're saying Cunegonda, there's a different memory. There's what she smelled like. Oh God, that time she wore the red dress, or the time she tripped on the street. And the first time she said my name. All these memories are coming. It's not always Cunegonda. All that. But that we can work on that later. I know, we could work all day. Beautiful, How thank you. And thank you for this. That's hard work. That's like intensive work. Love this jacket.